Good afternoon. Welcome. Happy Sunday, I guess. It is 11:30 in the morning here. And I thought I'd kick on, see what you guys are doing today. We're sitting out in the garage. We've got the rear end of the new Tacoma today. Looks just as, well, not quite as good as the front end looks, but nonetheless, it still looks pretty darn good in my opinion. Got to give you the weather. It is 80, what is it here today? It's about 84 degrees, and you can see out there in that blinding white light, right outside there, that it is partly cloudy, mostly cloudy. A little bit sunny today, but nonetheless, it is a nice day. Got to have the fan running though, of course. You can probably hear that in the background. 309 Taco, what's up? How you doing there, buddy? We are just doing a little live stream action this morning. Got something to talk about. Strangely, maybe not so strangely, I guess, it's been a little controversial on the channel. I don't know why, but people just don't seem to get it. So we're going to talk about something in the back of that truck. You can probably tell by, maybe by the title. Actually, I couldn't get the thumbnail I wanted to load this morning. I don't know. YouTube hiccup. Telemark to Marlo. Yo, Rob, what's up? Just enjoying my Wednesday, sitting outside here with you guys. So let's talk about the Tacoma. First of all, there's this nasty rumor going around that there are tons of Tacomas sitting on the lots that aren't selling. You know, I really believe that we get a lot of people that come in or come onto the channels that work for other companies. That or they're jealous. I don't know what their deal is, but they try to spread false rumors, right? At least in my area, there aren't tons of Tacomas sitting on the lots. They come in and they sell, and it's pretty much just that fast. Now, the thing that a lot of these folks use to back up their claims is that I never see any on the roads. Well, no, it takes time, right? I mean, it's a big country, isn't it? And Toyota, granted, is putting these out pretty darn slowly. But nonetheless, it takes time before they propagate, before they spread across the country, right? So not really surprising to me that we're not seeing a lot of them on the road. Bob England, good Sunday morning to you as well. Raymond Perez, good morning, Rob. Question, how are you liking your truck? I love this truck. This truck is awesome. And anybody who tells you it isn't a step forward, I'm not going to say it's a step above. I've said that before, but I think what I really mean is it's a step forward for the Toyota Tacoma, and it is awesome. What are some normal dealer fees and tax fees? Well, that depends on where you live. Taxes vary depending on state, even municipality, and fees at dealers vary too. There is not really a normal, you know what I'm saying? What are some out of the door price bumps? Again, that varies as well, man. I mean, dealers are adding options and extra things and markups, although I think the markups now are finally going away, but that all depends on the dealership, right? I mean, nothing is set in stone. I can't give you a solid answer. Where could you haggle the price? Depends on how you're buying. Are you paying cash? Are you financing? Are you leasing? Do you have a trade? I mean, that's why there's no real set. I'll tell you how I do it. When I buy, I pay cash. So I'm dealing on the out-the-door price. You know, I don't really care. I have a number in mind that I come up with before I go in based upon what the new truck is selling for, based upon what my trade-in is selling for, and then I work on that price. And that's the price I'm trying to hit, right? But you might be working on lease payments. You might be working on finance rates. And of course, that's going to depend upon how your credit is. So, I mean, there's a lot of variables, man. I guess bottom line is you need to decide either what you're going to pay out the door if you're paying cash or how much you want to pay per month. Really, whether you're leasing or financing or not, leasing or financing, and then you've got to do what you can to hit that price. You know, don't walk out of a dealer with a payment of $1,000 a month, $800. It's amazing to me how much I hear people pay. I mean, it's like a house payment. Are you nuts? Why is anyone committing to that? If nothing else, save the money before you go buy a new one. I mean, if you can afford to pay $1,000 a month in a car payment, then you can certainly afford to put some money in the bank to put down on that vehicle to get that payment down. Don't go in and sign up for $1,200 a month, or even for me, when I was financing, you know, or even leasing, I would never have paid over $450 or $500 a month, and $500 was pushing it. Why? Because it's too much freaking money. You're tying yourself down for how long? I mean, 36 months, 70, whatever it is, 84 months. I think the longest any dealer will go is 8 years. That's what, 96 months? I mean, that's a hell of a long time, isn't it? Why would you want to strap yourself down for so long? Don't do it. Telemark, good point, Raymond. Out the door price is all that matters. MSRP means nothing if there is $20,000 added on. Well, of course. I mean, you have to decide what it is that you want to pay, and stick to that. That's what you have to do. That's the way to do it in my book. Of course, there are 100 people, probably more out there, that are going to disagree with me, and they have their own ideas, but that's how I do it. Desync games. Personally, I'm sticking with my 22 6-speed manual, but the red looks really good on the new truck. This Supersonic Red is awesome. I love this color. You know, I wanted a truck that was eye-catching, that would pop, obviously, for what I do, right? I mean, I'm a YouTuber. I don't want a bland truck or something that's not going to draw the eye. I want something that's going to jump out and grab you. And other than solar octane, this is it, in my opinion. Of course, the electric lime green I had before was another one, although a very controversial and polarizing truck. A lot of people didn't like the color, but whatever, it still caught your eye, right? Telemark, the real elephant in the room is the cost of financing. It seems the dealers are really begging people to take leases for trucks. That way they get a high demand truck back in 3 years. No, that way they get kickbacks from the leasing companies. Don't think they care about you trading your truck back. At 3 years later, that's not what they're working on. What they're working on is getting a kickback from the leasing companies to increase their profit margins. Come on, they're not going to depend on you bringing that truck back to them in 3 years. Plus, they generally don't go back to the dealer anyway. They go to the leasing company. Now, they may have an arrangement worked out with the dealer where I could see that being a benefit, say 3 or 4 or 5 years from now. But I mean, really, they're really not, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not a dealership, but it's all about the bottom line, man. Robert Hannaford, wouldn't you get a better deal if you financed it and paid it off immediately? Why? Why would you think you'd get a better deal if you financed? I mean, not unless the dealership is going to give you a kickback out of their profits from directing you towards a specific bank. But if you're financing at your own bank, let's say a credit union or whatever, which is what you should be looking at, you're not going to get a better. Why would you get a better deal? Explain that to me. I'd like to know. Why would you get a better deal? Bob England, hope you thought about getting decals for the tailgate handle and top Tacoma lettering. Have you thought about getting decals for the tailgate top handle and Tacoma lettering? There is lettering on the tailgate right there. And if you're talking about letters up here where it says Toyota, probably not. I think that would be overkill. You know, when you add too much, it becomes gaudy or tacky, I think. Of course, it depends on you. I mean, if you like it, there's nothing tacky if in the eyes of the owner it's good. But in my eyes, no. It already says Tacoma there. It doesn't need to say Toyota up there, in my opinion. But you got to do what you like, right? Mark LaFontaine, bed mats are back ordered, at least here in Florida. I've been hearing that you can't get bed mats. Now, those are the OEM version, the ones that say Tacoma on them, right? I mean, there's a lot of different bed mats out there that one can get. And I would suggest not going with the OEM unless you can get it for a comparable price. I mean, why are you paying more for something that just sits in the bottom of your truck, your bed, and takes abuse if you use the truck to haul things and stuff? You're just going to tear the hell out of it anyway, right? I mean, sometimes you can get one for about half the price of an OEM version, so you get a 2-for-1 if you buy an aftermarket. I'm just saying, you know. Steve I. Morning, Rob. Do you have new wheels and tires on your Gen 4 Tacoma? I do. And you can see the old ones sitting right back there. They're actually for sale right now. But I do have new ones on the new truck. There is a video coming about those soon. It'll be coming up soon. Let's see. Jay, can't get a bed mat in Manitoba, Canada either. They say maybe in the spring. Yeah, and that's kind of odd, isn't it? I mean, why couldn't you get a bed mat? It's not a specialized thing. I mean, they have to change the measurements a little bit, which we're going to talk about here in just a minute. By the way, if you're just kicking in here, kick that subscribe button if you would. I'd really appreciate it. So yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. They tweak a couple of measurements. I mean, there's not much, and you get yourself a new bed mat. I don't know, but yeah, I've been hearing that they're short. Raymond Perez says, thanks, Rob. It's tough to live in California nowadays. You're lucky where you live. Your tax is low. Our tax here is 8.25%, something like that. I wouldn't say it's necessarily low. We don't have a sales tax here. Does that make sense? No, I take that back. It's not sales tax. We don't have a state tax. So they're going to make the money in other places, and you pay for it in sales tax, 8.25%. What is it in California right now? Sales tax. And you probably have a state tax as well. I don't know. Dennis Anderson, Rob, still jonesing the 24, but not willing to pay those ridiculous prices for the hybrid. Well, the hybrid's not even out yet. So I know they're ridiculous prices when they do come out, but you don't have to buy a hybrid. You could certainly buy just the 4-cylinder turbo, which is perfectly fine. Joe Stone Specialists, LLC, right there, baby. Hi, Rob. One question. Are the window gaskets coming off on mine? Are the windows wait a minute. Are the window gaskets coming off? Oh, on mine. I've noticed that they are a little separated from at the corners. How about yours? Have you noticed anything? Well, let's take a look. We're going to go take a look. And if you're over on YouTube right now, you'll get to come with us. I'm talking to Facebook. I got a Facebook thing going too, but they don't get the great treatment that you guys get. Let's go take a look. Are the gaskets coming off? No better way than to look, right? And I haven't really looked at this. I'm not sure what gaskets you're talking about. They look pretty good to me. I don't really see anything coming off on mine. So I don't know. That's a little bit loose. But I don't know that that's abnormal. I mean, it's just plastic. It's going to move. So no, I don't really notice gaskets coming off on my truck. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about, because there's certainly no gasket on the back because, you know, Toyota just kind of left that unfinished. I don't know. Green Tom, how much the car? How much the car? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Eddie Haskell, do you still prefer the WeatherGuard rain deflectors, and will you put them on the 2024? Man, which ones? I had WeatherTech, and I had another version. I prefer the ones that have the adhesive on the back that stick in the channel. They fit better, they stay better, they're easier to install, over the ones that have the little brackets that go in the track. Whichever ones those were. I can't remember, and I can't think of the name of the first one I used. Maybe they were WeatherTechs. I don't know. But the first set that I put on my Tacoma a couple Tacomas ago are the ones I prefer. And will I put them on the 24? Yeah, probably. I mean, I like them. Carlos Danger. Why is it that the Toyota dealership in Concord, won't do a drain and fill on a Highlander 75,000 miles on it? They say if it's not broke, don't fix it. I have no idea. I don't live in North Carolina. I don't know why. I'm assuming if you went in there with money in your hand, they'll do anything you tell them to do. But if you're telling them to do it under warranty or something, or rather under normal maintenance, then no, because it's not covered under their plan, I'm sure. But I don't know what your situation is, so I really can't answer that. Let's have a little sip of the green nectar while I give you folks that haven't a quick second to smash that subscribe button, if you wouldn't mind. There we go. Man, that is good. That's good stuff. Tim says, howdy, Rob. Tim triple thumbed up. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. Bayo Lie. Bayo, Bao, Bayo. I'm going with Bayo Lie. Tacoma quality is like the Tundra quality, straight garbage. I haven't noticed that at all, and I never noticed it on my Tundras either, so I don't know why you say that. Do you own a Tundra? Do you own a Tacoma? Do you own a new Tacoma? I mean, you're going to have to give us a little background before you can make a statement like that. You know what I'm saying? Walter. Hello, Rob. Hey, Walter. How you doing there, buddy? FRB, have you missed your 2023 any? No, I don't. I honestly don't. I mean, I like the 23. People seem to think that when you buy a new version of the same truck, that somehow you now hate the last truck. I don't. I love the 23. I still do. There's nothing wrong with them. Other than they don't have the power of this truck. They don't have all the tech of this truck. They don't have the transmission in this truck. But there's nothing wrong with them. I mean, so do I miss it though? No, I don't miss it. All right, let's talk about it doesn't fit the new Tacoma. What I'm talking about, we're going to have to get up here. Bayo says, Ranger Raptor way better. Well, you're obviously a Ford guy. I'm not sure why you're in a Tacoma live stream trying to convince us that your Ford is better. Do you even own a Ranger Raptor? Have you touched one? Have you sat in one? Or are you just a talking head? Let me know. I mean, if you're talking, you got to back it up, right? Joel Munoz. Hey, Rob. When's the video on your lift coming out? It's coming soon. It's coming soon. I don't have it right in front of me, but soon. You got to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so that you're notified when these videos come out. Because I don't remember off the top of my head. I've got several videos in queue because you have to do that as a daily YouTuber, you know, except for the live stream days. Cod, I'm sorry, I don't understand what it is you're saying, so I'm going to have to remove your comment because it... Oops, I removed Joel's, I think. Joel, I'm sorry. Oh, well, I guess that one was a good one to remove. I did remove it, but Cod, gonna have to get rid of you too, because I don't know what you're saying, buddy. Dennis Anderson, have you seen the new bronze color in person? Looks great to me. I have not seen it in person, but I do like that color in pictures, so I'm sure it looks awesome. I know there's some folks that have been getting that color. Cod says he's speaking English now, or she, I don't know which. That's good, because I speak English, so I appreciate that. Umberto Para. Which third gen that you have owned loved the most? Wow, color-wise, hands down, the Voodoo Blue. Awesome truck. Otherwise, man, I would rank them all pretty darn equally. Because, you know, it's the third gen. They were all pretty much the same. I will say that the TRD off-roads and the SR5s seem to ride smoother than the Sport did. Not the case with the new Sport, the 2024, although I haven't driven I shouldn't say that because I haven't driven a TRD off-road, but I got to say, the ride quality of this truck, it's just freaking awesome, man. It's awesome. So yeah, I don't know. The Voodoo Blue one only scores higher because of the color. I love that color, man. It was awesome. Let's see. Bayo says, I've driven the Raptor, owned 3 Tacomas and 1 Tundra. Toyota is going downhill. Well, you and I are going to have to disagree on that. Alejandro De La Rosa, how's the JBL speaker installed? I have no idea. I don't have it, so I couldn't tell you. Telemark, the Trail Hunter looks awesome. The most interesting of the new Tacomas to me. You know, really, besides the color, I guess a couple of other things, and the roll bar, the sport bar, is it really that different? I mean, I know it has some different options and things on it, but say as compared to the, I don't know, the TRD off-road, the Sport or even the Pro. Although the Pro has those fancy shock absorber seats if you're into that. But Bayo says, own 2 third gens and 1 second gen. 4th gen sucks for the price they ask. So you're saying that the truck sucks because of its price, not because of how the truck runs, its capabilities, what it looks like, how it handles. Nobody likes higher prices. Because, and if you go by that, I guess if you were born in 1965, all the prices are higher now, so every vehicle out there and everything sucks. That's not a very good reason to say something sucks because it costs more money. The price sucks, I agree with you there. All right, let's take a look in the back. Now, again, if you're on Facebook over there, you gotta go over to YouTube. Because that is where we're going to walk on. Oh, my brother from Punta Gorda is on here. How you doing? Charlie Small is watching. I've got Facebook running too. Just for kicks, I thought I'd do a dual live today. But anyway, you got to go over to RobMotive on YouTube, and you're going to get to see what I'm doing. I'm just saying. Let's take a look. Oh, there's the Facebook people, by the way. Let's take a look at this mat, right? It is the mat from my previous 3rd gen, of course, and it did not fit. I think I've shown this before, so I'm not going to dwell on it, but I had to cut the angle differently here to get it to slide up to the front because it just didn't slide up to the front. It would hit because the angle was too sharp, if you will, before. So I had to whiten it up a little bit, and then here in the back, I kind of had to move the notch here. Excuse me, so that my, it's off a little bit right now. How about that? So that my tie downs here would rotate freely. Now, somebody asked me recently, Rob, why didn't you just go ahead and relocate the tie downs to this bolt? And you know, that's a damn good question. Honestly, I'm coming clean. I didn't even think of that when I was doing this. This might as well not have even existed for me because I didn't even see it, or I might have tried that. The thing is, though, is this has a different kind of fastener in it so that, number one, it will spin. And I think the bolt might be different, the thread pattern or the thread size, the bolt size here than there. But I'm not positive of that. The other reason that I probably wouldn't have done that, even if I'd have thought of it, is because I have the spray-in bed liner. And Toyota did not remove the bolts. When they did that, they sprayed over the bolts. So if I pull this off, I'm gonna break the seal around here, which isn't a big deal, but I'm running the risk of pulling off some of the coating because it's like a glove fitting on here, right? Now, I could have cut around the edge maybe with a knife or something to enable me to pull that bolt out cleanly. I don't know, honestly, if you can fit the tie downs there or not. And just for FYI, we do have a tie down, or not a tie down, but a bolt on each side. So it's possible that you could relocate the tie downs over here, and maybe, because this would have come straight down, I think it may still have been in the way a little bit to allow full rotation of these. These are from billettiedowns.com, by the way. Love these things. They're not cheap. Some folks have commented, these are expensive, but you get what you pay for, man. I mean, these are stout, they stay down, they rotate. You can't tell me if you go out right now and try to do that in your Tacoma that it's gonna rotate like this does. I mean, look at that. It's like butter, man, it's smooth. No way. I remember having to use a hammer to actually pound up, or a screwdriver, you know, to wedge it up, but to pull up my tie down because they lock in place. It's like they rust under there, and then you can't get this part up. And then if you try to rotate them, they don't move either. So no way are you getting that kind of action. That's right, that kind of action. We all like action, right? That kind of action out of your tie downs in your 3rd gen, no way. So the question is then, if you buy an OEM mat that actually is supposed to fit the new Tacoma, is it gonna have enough room back here for something like this? I don't know. And are they even gonna accommodate for the tie downs? That's one thing that you ought to check before you invest that $100 to $200, probably more like $150 to $180 in that OEM mat. is to see whether or not they've left enough space over here for where the OEM tie down is. And you can get an idea here, just look at it. I mean, you're talking about what, 6-7 inches, something like that, in between where I've cut out and the edge of the mat. So you got to be about, let's say, well, if you go to the edge of this one, you're going to be about 4 inches off the edge to be able to fit the tie down, the OEM tie down on here. So I don't know. I'm not sure. But that is the mat that I have in there. It just took a little bit of cutting, again, right up at the wheel wells. I had to widen the angle a little. And then obviously I took off this square because I have these aftermarket tie downs, which also match the ones up on the rails. You can see red there. And if you look back in the corner, you can see red there. Pretty cool. And they do come in different colors and things. Not really trying to turn this into an ad for billettiedowns.com, but you know, they're a good product. They are not cheap, but they're not cheap either. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I have to address a big question I've had about the bed mat in there. We're going to do that in just a second. By the way, if you're just coming in and you haven't, please click that subscribe button wherever it is on your screen. I really would appreciate it. Let's see. Let's go back here a little bit. Where was I? Wow, we've gotten a few comments since I kicked in here. Let's see. Got to figure out where I was. COD, how much was this truck? There's a video on the channel about that. Honestly, I don't remember what I paid after the trade and all that stuff, but I did go over the listing and all that stuff on the channel. So if you search RobMotive 2024 Tacoma, you'll have videos that come up. You'll be able to find it. It was 40 something. I don't remember. Adrian, G24. Hello yesterday. Hello yesterday. Well, good morning today. I test drove a Solar Octane 2023 TRD Pro, and I may trade in my 2018 Tacoma TRD Sport today for it. Well, congratulations. Is it a new 2023? I assume not, but not all 23s have sold, so it could be new. Walter, eating a burger right now and watching your live. Walter, there's nothing better than that. I mean, think about it. RobMotive and a burger. Come on. What more could you want? Adrian, Tundra Pro. Oh, you're looking at a Tundra. Well, you're in a completely different arena. Now you're looking at a full-size truck. Bayo, do it, Adrian. 3rd gens rock, don't buy a 4th gen. Why? Again, because of pricing? This cat thinks that because they're more expensive, they somehow suck. Come on, man. I mean, Porsches are expensive, but I don't think they suck. But all matter of opinion, I guess. Jay says, hey Rob, have you ever had 2 sets of tires and had to reprogram TPMS sensors like have to do on my 2023 TRD Sport? Do you know if of a good programming tool I should buy? Can't find one other than Amazon. I have not. The dealership is always taking care of that, but keep in mind, not every sensor out there works with every Toyota Tacoma. So you may have sensors that don't work in the truck no matter what you do. I don't know. And by the way, they don't take long to sync up once you do reprogram them or sync them to the truck. Shouldn't take more than 10, 15 minutes. So don't let a shop tell you, oh, give it a couple days, or they're probably just trying to get rid of you if they're doing that, right? Beo says, bed lining a composite bed, see why Toyota sucks, LOL. They're trying to protect the composite bed, and you know what? If you don't want it, don't buy it. I don't know. Do I think it's necessary? No. Why? Because I put, obviously, a bed mat in mine, but it looks good. Again, it's one of those options. Do you put film on the front of your car? Do you wash your car? What kind of wax do you use? If it's expensive, it must mean it sucks, right? I don't know. Adrian, Bayo, LY, I'm confused. Why are you recommending I upgrade to a 2023 Tundra for my current Tacoma or not to, LOL? Because the new Tacomas suck, I guess. Let's see, Ryan, I lost my spot here. Where was I? There's no Ryan there. Adrian, I sat in a 2024 Tacoma and I like the Tundra more. Well, that's all the more reason to buy a Tundra. I mean, it's your money in the end, right? You got to buy what you like. Bayo says, upgrade to 3rd Gen Pro Tacoma. But they're expensive. They suck. According to this guy, I don't know. Telemark, I like the all-steel bumper on the front of the Trail Hunter, the bronze wheels, and the old Emu suspension. Definitely nice for those of us in the off-road crowd. 2-inch more ground clearance. All valid reasons. I mean, if you're going to use it for off-roading, and notice, I'm not saying if you're going to use it as a truck, because you know what? Whoever writes that check, they're the ones who determine what using it as a truck means, even if it's only going to the grocery store every week. You know what I'm saying? But those are good reasons. I mean, especially if you are an off-roader, you know. Let's see. Where was I? On the all steel. Gotcha. Okay, Adrian, to be clear, I test drove a 2023 Tundra TRD Pro. Gotcha. I thought at first when you commented you were talking about the Tacoma. So you're in the market for a Tundra. Nothing wrong with that. And the Pro looks pretty good. Bayo, anything is better than the 4th Gen Tacoma, Adrian. I get a Tundra before the new Taco. See, again, we disagree on that. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not trying to push my views on you guys. I'm just giving my experience, what I think of the truck and how it's doing for me. I'm not telling you a truck sucks or you should buy a different one, you know. Walter says, wow, Bayo, a pirate ship gaming. Are there any aftermarket headlights you'd recommend for the Tacoma? Not off the top of my head, no. I've not put aftermarket headlights on any Tacoma. I've done aftermarket taillights, of which I'd recommend Windjets. Windjets, I never had any trouble with. You know, some people out there who have bought aftermarket taillights have complained about condensation and water buildup inside the lens. I never had that problem with my Windjets. So I couldn't tell you for headlights, though. Malcolm X, bro, I see that you are a fan of Gakamuchi. I don't even know what that is, so I can't tell you. Please, enlighten me. What does that mean? Zed says, that Tacoma is fire. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Zed says, what trim is it? My Tacoma is a 2024 TRD Sport. Let me have a drink here. Oh man, that's good. That's really good. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a tour. Before I do that, though, I got to answer that or address the big argument on the bed liner. I've had a lot of people, not a lot. I've had 2 or 3 people comment on the channel about the bed mat that I cut and put in this truck. It was the one that I owned, and that might be key, from my 3rd Gen Tacoma. Why didn't you just buy a new one, Rob? Are you being cheap? You spent $50,000 on this truck. Well, I didn't spend $50,000 on this truck, number one. You know what happens when you assume, right? But I didn't spend $50,000. I didn't spend 20 either. But the bottom line is they're saying why they're alluding to their belief that I cheaped out and didn't just buy a new mat. But you see, those are the same people that ask me, how can you afford to buy a new truck every time I turn around? Well, shoot, I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't buy things I already have every time around. I mean, you know, it's got to be one way or the other, right? But anyway, I didn't buy the new one because I owned the old one. It was an easy mod to do. I mean, you cut this stuff with a carpet knife. It's very, very simple. There was no reason for me to buy a new one when this works perfectly well in my truck. Plus, I've been told today that you can't get the new ones because they're on back order. They're not available. I'm not saying that was my reason. It wasn't. My reason is because I already owned one and I wanted to modify it. That's really the reason. Adrian, people forget one can trade in a vehicle, LOL. Well, that's right. I mean, there's a reduction in cost when you trade something in of value, right? I mean, most people probably are not just walking in and buying a truck or car or whatever without some sort of a trade. I think most people probably have a trade. I certainly did. That trade is worth money. I mean, I got almost 30 some odd $1,000 out of the last Tacoma I had. So even if this was 50,000, which it wasn't, I'd be looking at a payment of 20 or 15, which, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of money, but it's not 50,000 a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a little walk around. By the way, you Facebook people, if you're watching me, kick on over to YouTube on RobMotive, because I just got some message. I don't know. Because I'm gonna take a walk around and take a look at this truck for those of you who want to see, and you'll miss it because I can't carry two devices, and you guys right up there, not you guys are on a tripod. You guys are on a handheld. So anyway, enough of that. Let's take a look. We're gonna start here in the rear end. It's just freaking gorgeous. I mean, isn't it? Look at that paint. Look at that. You can see me in this truck, and the truck is filthy dirty. By the way, there's the old wheels and tires that were on it. Those were the TRD, I guess you'd call them brushed aluminum, I don't know, and painted black, kind of a dual setup, if you will. Anyway, here's the back of the truck. There are a couple of mods on here you may notice. One makes the truck look tougher. One actually enabled me to have a third brake light up there. I have videos coming on all that stuff, of course, so if you want to see, it's coming up. Let's see. People forget one can trade in. Bayo says, technically, Rob, you did pay 50. Bayo, how would you know what I paid? You have no idea what I paid. Assumptions, right? Fake news, brother. Let's move on. Adrian, wow, you got a good amount on that truck. I did. Walter, what? How do you know that? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, people just like to troll. Zed says, beautiful red taco. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Look at that, right down the side. Look at that thing glisten, man. Adrian, if I can't get over 32 for my current 18 with 87,000 miles, the Tundra, if I can, the Tundra is very affordable. There you go. That weak power lifter. I want my ice cream to look like that. Well, I don't know. Metal, I'd rather just have milk and, sugar. Heinrich CBR, do you regret trading the third gen for a fourth gen? No, not in any way. Let's take a look down this side. You may notice it kind of looks exactly like the other side, right? Let's move on. Oh yes, the Tundra-esque door handles, of course, the big chunky door handles. Honestly, when I first got this truck, I wasn't really a fan of those big chunky door handles. I thought, that's too Tundra-like, But after having this truck for a while, I kind of dig those. I think they look pretty good. Moving on, we still have this, I don't know why they do this. We still have this black sticker down the side of the truck. I may take that off someday. They probably do it just to break it up a little bit because they've been doing it that way forever, but I don't know. Let's see. Adrian says, beating Tacoma, by the way, or beautiful Tacoma, by the way. D-Sync says, let's play a drinking game. Every time Rob says, take a shot. Hey, have at it, brother. Adrian is cry laughing. Gary, is that the new sport bar or the one you had on the third gen? You talking about that right there? You'll have to stay tuned. There's a video coming. Walter, which taco do you think looks better, the third gen or the fourth gen? That's a tough question. Man, I like both. I can't say that I would pick one over the other when it comes to looks. I think after having the new fourth gen, it looks more modern now to me. But that's kind of like saying, does the first or second gen look better? Because they look awesome too. So I don't know. I mean, now that we have this truck and its lines and the way that it looks, if I'm being honest, the third gen kind of looks a little dated to me now. And that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all, but it does look a little dated to me. I don't know. So there's the front of the truck. Of course, we've got the hood scoop. You guys can, of course, see how dirty the truck is. I think it is filthy dirty, but the one good thing about this truck, when you step back and take a look at it from a distance, I keep thinking that's a freaking snake. You know, we have snakes here. I had a tarantula in front of the driveway the other day when I came out. It's driving me nuts. I should kick it out of the way. Anyway, when you step back, and maybe you can still tell on video, I don't know, but in person, it looks very clean. Still dirty, but very clean as compared to what it really looks like in person or up close, right? But look at that glisten. Even though it's really covered in dirt, I guess, it still looks pretty darn cool in the garage. Or in the garage, outside of the garage. Let's switch you guys around. There we go. All right, we got some more comments to catch up on. Let's see here. That was just a brief tour. That's what the Canadians do. They don't go for a drive, they go for a tour. Isn't that true? Any Canadians on here right now? You guys don't go drives, you go for a tour. You take a tour. Am I right? I could be wrong. All right, do I regret trading? No. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's play a game. Adrian's laughing. Gary, Sport Bar, Walter, what taco? The weak power lifter, or that weak power lifter. You need to maybe eat a little more protein. I don't know. Those black stickers look good though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they look good. That matter of preference, I guess, man. Zed, are you considering mods? Am I considering mods? I've already started. You may have noticed a few already. I didn't point everything out because there are videos coming on those. So I want it to be a little bit of a surprise if you didn't catch it with the naked eye. By the way, speaking of naked, if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And for you Facebookers out there, go over to YouTube and smash that subscribe button at RobMotive on YouTube. I'd appreciate it. That's right. I'm talking to the Facebookers right over there. Let's carry on here. Aquatech Power Solutions, LLC. Slay. That's right. Telemark. How is the back seat room for passengers? It is just as horrible, if not worse, than the third gen. They really didn't do us any favors in the back seat, let me tell you. Matter of fact, I'd go as far as to say that if you're buying a truck and you haul people in there frequently, in the back, you probably need to buy the Tundra. I mean, it's fairly tight. Little kids, probably not such a problem. Of course, they're going to be kicking the back of your seat constantly because it's right there. But anyway, Walter, they both look cool in my opinion. There you go. XX, Stern Bins, XX, love the rig, bro. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Telemark, all gens of the Tacoma are great trucks. I couldn't agree more. My first Toyota truck was an 88 4x4 and it was excellent. Drove it for 12 years. Yeah, they've always been great. That's Toyota's place in the market, I guess, is to produce good looking trucks, which they've always done, and reliable trucks, which they've always done. I have no reason to believe that this truck is going to be worse quality or not as reliable as the current gen. I mean, all of a sudden Toyota said, the hell with everybody. We're going to build junk trucks now. What? That's bad business, man. Justin says, the scoop on the hood looks larger than the one on my 2017 Sport. It is. It's larger and it's wider and it's lower. It's more integrated into the hood. With the previous version, it was kind of just like a scoop that kind of just sat on the hood, you know? This is integrated into the hood. Alex Morrow, is the 4th gen higher than the 3rd gen? My truck is lifted, so if you're looking at it in the video and thinking, wow, that truck looks high, it is lifted. Is it higher anyway? Yeah, I would say it is. It felt higher to me. I mean, I didn't measure it, and I haven't gone out and looked at specs or anything, but it certainly felt higher to me, at least the Sport, the TRD line. Let's see. Zed, it's always amazing when creators are interactive with fans. Thanks, man. Hey, you guys take the time to watch my videos, comment on here, comment on the channel. It's the least I can do. And for any creator out there that doesn't, they're shortchanging you, man. To me, that's a sign of arrogance. You know, I'm too good to talk to my subscribers. I don't have time to talk to them. Well, that's a bunch of BS, you know? I always respond to comments as long as there's something to respond to, you know, on the channel. I mean, if somebody says, Rob, I love your truck, then I'll give you a thumbs up, or maybe I'll say thanks or whatever, but there's no real discussion there. If you ask me a question, I'll respond to it, you know, because why wouldn't I? It's kind of rude. It'd be like someone coming up to you in public and saying, hey, how you doing? And you turn around and walk away. I mean, you know, really? I don't know. But thank you. Bayo says, 50K for no leather, no rear sliding window, and useless back seats. Great value, LOL. I'm still not sure why you're in here. I mean, if you hate the truck so much because it sucks, what's your goal? Let's just get to it. Bayo. What's your end game? I mean, does it make you feel better? Are you a narcissist? I don't know. Buck. Now that's a tough name. What's your name? My name's Buck. You don't mess around with Buck. Anyway, Buck, are they going to make a regular cab in the new Tacoma? No, you're never going to see a regular cab again. I mean, nobody, in the end, I mean, I'd love to have a regular cab myself, but they don't suit families. They don't suit, you know, hauling a lot of stuff. They just don't. I mean, you're never going to see that in my opinion. Walter Zed, you are right. Thanks, Rob, for responding to comments and just talking with us. Hey, you don't have to thank me. It's not a struggle to get on here. I mean, it's an honor, honestly, that you're even here. I know you don't have to be here. I know you don't have to talk to me. So the thanks is from me to you, not the other way around. And speaking of thanks, a big thanks if you click that subscribe button right now and you haven't before. Honestly, helps out the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. Manuel Vasquez, good to connect, Rob. Same at you. Thank you, Manuel. Enrique, does the paint on that one have orange peel? I've seen them at the dealer, all have orange peel. I don't think you're really talking about orange peel. You're probably talking about that section down below the doors that looks like orange peel. That's designed to prevent rock chips. It's not orange peel. So I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Otherwise, on the rest of the truck, no, there's nothing different, if you will. Telemark says, Bayo is a definite troll. Well, that's obvious. That's obvious. And as soon as he crosses the line, I mean, he's going to get what every other troll gets. So, you know. Tim says, love listening in. Happy Sunday. I appreciate that, Tim. Thank you very much. I hope you're having a fantastic Sunday where you are. 304 on top. Hi, 304. How you doing? Walter, I think Bayo would get the new Tacoma if it was free. LOL. He probably owns one now. He's just on here to be a troll. Desync Game says, he thought his opinion matters or something. Exactly. Trolls' opinions don't matter. They're just strange people sitting in rooms in the dark, spewing garbage, you know. Jeffrey Simonson, can you feel a difference in the steering feel? They removed the rubber bushings that mount the steering rack to the truck and are rigid mounted now. I was curious if you can feel a difference. They did more than that. The steering is now electronic. So you're not really connected to anything. Is there a difference in steering feel? I can feel a difference if I switch to a different mode, like Eco or Sport or I forget the other. I think it's Standard maybe. I can feel a difference in the steering wheel there, but overall, not really. No, I really don't feel anything different. So whatever they've done is at least equivalent to, I think, what we had before with, you know, steering feel in the truck. Zed says, strange people sitting in a room in the dark. I know, right? I mean, come on. Can't you just picture it, you know? I mean, I can just picture it going on. It wouldn't surprise me in the least. So, what do I think of the new Tacoma? I guess I'll answer that. I answer it almost every time I come on. How about the rear coil spring versus leaf spring? The ride quality of this truck is way better than the third gen. So did that new rear end make a change? I'd say yes, it did. It honestly feels more like a luxury truck now, like a Lexus truck. I mean, it's not quite that smooth, but it's pretty darn smooth. So yeah, I'd say you can notice a difference. Sport View says, what's up? Sport View, how you doing? So anyway, I love the new truck. I think it's freaking awesome. I mean, I was a skeptic before I got this truck. Anybody who watches my videos knows I used to get comments from people, Rob, you're so negative. You're so negative. It wasn't negative. I was just giving my opinion on what I was getting information-wise on the new truck. Gotta say, I love it. I think it's awesome. Telemark says, I'm always amazed that some criticize Toyota's reliability flaws. Where are they getting their data? How many million-mile Raptors are out there? I know. They're trolls. They're either trolls or they're people that, you know, maybe have other YouTube channels that are trying to gain publicity because they're pushing some other brand and they're hoping that you'll go look at them and go to their channel and subscribe to them, or they work for other brands, other manufacturers, and they're trying to dog the brand because it hurts their brand. I mean, you know, that's how it goes. Dominic Bloom says none. No million-mile Raptors. Right, you ever heard of one? I haven't. Happy Pappy, Hap Pap. Now that's a heck of a name. Do you have an opinion of the old AMC Inline 6 4.0? I do not. I don't. Jeremy Simonson. I wish they made the Trail Hunter color and more options. I love that color on that trim level. They will. It'll be coming out. It'll be coming out, I'm sure. Justin Campbell. And did they put a rear locker on the new Sport yet? Not that I'm aware of, but I could be wrong. Walter, yeah, when people look for something reliable, they get a Toyota, not a Ford. Every time. 420 growers. Toyota were reliable, not anymore. 400K Tacoma with blown motor, just one example. One example out of millions of trucks sold. Yeah, they're horrible. Mark Schiffelli? I'm going with Schiffelli. It could be Scheifel, or I tried. What can I say? How is the responsiveness of the accelerator? New gen went to 4-cylinder with turbo, right? It's awesome. And with the pedal commander installed on it, I mean, it's downright fast. It's fast without it. It's faster with it. I say, and I've told a few people who have asked, when it comes to the pedal commander on the 4th gen, which I have, it refines the acceleration in this truck, which is a good thing. Bob England was wondering if you are retired or currently working. Bob, I am working right now. This is what I do for a living. I am a full-time content creator, technically, working through Google and other. Oops, I've turned my side on Facebook. I'm so sorry to the Facebook people. If you were over at RobMotive on YouTube, that wouldn't have happened. I'm not retired, Bob. I am not old enough to retire, thank you. Super Sager. Toyota North America wants a version of the upcoming GR Hilux, which is coming with long suspension travel from the factory and the V35A, F30. They'll get the Tacoma X Runner with the 35. Sounds good to me. Bunch of terms and numbers there. I don't even know what you're talking about. Zed, first time I've ever heard a million-mile Raptor in the same sentence, right? Blue the Robot. Is there a way to put a rear locker on an SR5 Premium? I'm sure if you have enough money, there's always a way. Enough money will do about anything you want to do. Blue the Robot, 4Runner. Now, 4Runner, I'm sure it's the same, but I'm not into 4Runners. I don't really know much about 4Runners, so I'm the wrong guy to ask. Descent Games, a Ford can't make it to 1 million miles. There's probably been a Ford out there, you know, 1 in a million. No pun or humor intended. Manikim Gindi. Manikim Gindi. I've got a 2022 Toyota 4Runner Limited, got 130,000 miles on it, runs like a clock. Perfect. Of course, it's a Toyota. Pokey Friends, you're not Toretto. Well, I think that's probably obvious, but okay. Super Sager, V35A was 3.44L twin turbo V6 petrol. Sounds good to me. The other one is 3.3 twin turbo diesel. There you go. Now we all know. I don't have all the numbers and that stuff memorized, obviously. So, you know, what can I say? Let's see. We caught up? We're caught up. All right. Well, it is the end of the live stream for me. I want to ask a favor, if you wouldn't mind, again, and you're in here and you're new, maybe you haven't, click that subscribe button if you would. It really helps out the channel. If you want to go one step further, click the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And give me a thumbs up on your way out. I appreciate everybody being here. I hope you have a fantastic Sunday, and we'll see you next live, probably on Wednesday. Bye.